So I'm not a person who actually minds that we're spending a lot of time in the night court, mostly because we haven't seen a whole lot of the night court either. Like, yes, we have not seen like the day court, the dawn court, like the winter court, like a lot of these places. We have not seen them. But can you really tell me anything about the night court, like in general? Can you tell me anything about it? I don't think that you can. And it really just goes to show that we only really spend time in like these same similar places. So on that point, I agree with you. We're at the river house, we're at the townhouse, we're at like Resand's property, but then we don't expand beyond that. I couldn't tell you anything about Valaris. Maybe there is information about Valaris like in the narration that I'm not remembering right now, but that means that Valaris just isn't memorable as a place. It's just memorable as a this is where the main characters live. It doesn't feel like a city. It doesn't feel like Lunathian. This isn't to say that Crescent City doesn't have its own issues, but I do think that the world building for Crescent City is a lot better, and I think that it feels like a lived-in city. Like I feel like that Bryce and Hunt and the other characters in Crescent City, they know how to get around. And maybe I'm not being entirely fair because Bryson Hunt and the cast of Crescent City, they are native to Lunathian in a way that Pharaoh will never be native to Valaris on account of being human first. But even like Rhysand and Cassian and Azrael, they seem to just go to like these same specific places. Like you don't get to see the city as a whole. Nesta would have been a really interesting opportunity, especially in A Court of Silver Flames, to do this, especially because in A Court of Frost and Starlight, and in A Court of Silver Flames as well, they talk about like yanking Nesta out of bars and stuff. So Nesta knows her way around. Nesta might not be native to Valaris, but she's probably seen more of it than Feyre ever will, just because she goes to like working class places. She goes to dive bars, like which means she has to know her way around and she has to be able to like navigate her way back home from these places. So she does know her way around, and it would have been really cool to see like Nesta and Cassian like go somewhere that's a little off the track of where the night court would normally go, but they don't do that because Rhysand has such an iron grip on the social politics of the Court of Dreamers. And I would argue that this is another flaw in the world building where I don't think that Sarah can take us around to different parts of Valaris because I don't think she's thought very deeply about Valaris to begin with. Think about like how the economy works in the Night Court. There is no economy in the Night Court. It's just vibes. There is a non-zero percentage of my soul that wants to see and or write an economic collapse of the night court. I genuinely want to see that because I want to like the way that the economy works in the night court is infuriating to me. And I'm not like an economist. I have an interest in economics, but I'm not an economist. I don't know that much about this stuff. I have to reiterate this. I am not an expert. I am just someone with a very healthy interest in economics. Like I follow a couple of like economics podcasts and I've read a few books about it. Like I'm not educated, but I like this topic. So when I'm reading ACOTAR and I'm like there is no tithe. So if there is no tithe, where does the money come from? But if it's an entirely secret city, do they have trade? Clearly they have trade because people live here and the night court is in the north and I'm assuming that it's cold, so there are things there that they would have to import from other places, which means that like are they just being imported to the Court of Nightmares and then siphoned off to Valaris? We don't know, and because we don't know, it pisses me the fuck off. I know that you're talking about like why we haven't seen like the other courts yet, but I honestly feel like we're not ready. I don't think that the world building is ready for us to see other places because then we're gonna end up going to the day court and we're gonna find out that Helion's economy and Helion's like world building and like his major cities are also not well established, and like the night court isn't developed enough yet, and it's crazy because we have mostly spent our time there. It's not developed enough yet. So as much as like I would like to see other places, and I do want to see other places, I do agree with you, I feel like we need to understand like how Valaris works, and I'm afraid we're not going to get that. But also I think Valaris needs to feel more real because if Valaris is our home base, when we go to other places, I should feel like that's home base. And I don't feel like that's home base. I feel like that's a weird world building black hole. And as a world building girly, it kills me.